Howdy y'all, assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. I know it's been a long time since I've been on, like 6 months or so. So what's going on in the world? You remember October 7th, 2023, when allegedly Hamas, quote unquote Hamas, blew up 1,000 people exactly and took 20 hostages. And then Israel retaliated times 1,342. When I saw that October 7th, whatever, I'm like, there's something wrong. They're saying Hamas. But then I look at the footage and where's Hamas? Nowhere to be found. But then they show Hamas, making threats, whistling and clapping. Supposedly they're reciting the Quran. I don't think they're reciting the Quran. I think they're just people pretending to be Muslim in behind a mask. And I'm like, well, where is this Hamas? I mean, they seem to be in a safe zone. So I did my research, and the first thing I thought is, like, who records them? Well, it was always Al Jazeera. You never have the press people recording Hamas. You never have the Western corrupt fake news media in Gaza recording Hamas because they're not there. Well, then I looked up, where is Al Jazeera? What country are they from? Whatever. And it said Qatar. And I'm like, these guys are placed in Qatar. And Hamas is, by the way, that means wars, W-A-R-S, wars in Hebrew. Yeah, it's all a show by Israel and by the United States. Hamas has never set foot on Palestine. They're an Israeli-American asset that Israel and the United States use as a scapegoat so they can do self-inflicted attacks on themselves, then blame Hamas. Well, then they call over to Qatar and say, okay, get the guys on the camera and make them do the threats and stuff. Well, then, here's Hamas. They're saying they did it. When I saw this headline, which was today, September 9th, 2025, and by the way, this is RT Russia Today, the only truthful news source in the world. And then I also saw it elsewhere, I forgot where, but it was minorly mentioned. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't people ask, why is the Hamas headquarters in Qatar? Nobody seems to be asking that question.
You have a Hamas office here. Mm-hmm. And Hamas has been designated, I think, repeatedly by the U.S. government, certainly by the Congress, as a terror organization. And people say, well, how could you have a Hamas office here? What is that?
We have to go back to the root of this office. Like, why it's here in the first place. And Hamas office, when it was opened here in the first place, it was opened with a request from the U.S. And
the U.S. asked you to put a Hamas office here?
They have asked us to open the channels with them and to have an established communication channel with the same case what was applied to Taliban.
Like, Hamas is this horrible, torturing, kill in cold blood, murderers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they take 20 hostages. They managed to keep them alive for 2 years, according to Trump, according to Netanyahu, according to the Western corrupt news media. Well, aren't they generous? I mean, feeding 20 people for 2 years plus or 2 years, I mean, that's pretty nice of them. So, nope, they themselves take the hostages so they can prolong the war as long as they want to. So you can have stupid idiots like Trump say, I won't stop the war until all the hostages are released. Well, when do you think that Israel's going to release their own self-taken hostages? Till they get what they want, which is the Greater Israel Project. To be honest, not anytime soon they're releasing no hostages. And so what's the point of this entire video thing? I'm just perplexed about Israel attacking the headquarters of Hamas because, I mean, why? Like, that's their scapegoat. Why would you want to kill your scapegoat? So now this is speculation zone, obviously, but it makes no sense that they would attack the headquarters of the real only existing Hamas in Qatar, miles and miles away from Gaza. And I'm not here to say Trump's a good person because he's no longer a good person. I'm pretty sure he went in with good intentions. Kind of like the people that say, they support the resistance, they support Hamas, not knowing that they're being fooled and played into their game. And I think with Trump, similarly, he got threatened into their game. And he's always going to be stubborn, so he's always going to try to rock the boat, even though his goodness is not in his vision anymore. And he made a huge long post about this today on True Social. Perhaps he's trying to get them to stop because it really has cost him a lot of popularity here in the United States. And they probably said, we're not stopping. And if you don't, this is speculation once again. And if you don't stop, telling us to stop, we'll show you something. And just knowing how he easily loses his temper, he probably said something to them, and they probably, okay, our scapegoat, Hamas in Qatar, watch this. And that makes sense of why they would attack their own asset. They're fighting with Trump behind the scenes. That's what I can make out of it. It makes the most perfect sense. Peace.